About 2 months ago, I made a video talking about Coryxkenshin, more specifically, giving my opinion on how I felt about him as a creator. And if you didn't watch that video, watch it so you can get the full context of what I'm about to talk about. But in that video, I specifically focused on the recent hate, especially at that time, that Cory had been getting for his very frequent breaks. More specifically, I was asking the question of if that hate was deserved, because in my opinion, I felt like people were being a little bit too harsh on him. Now, I am making this video, 2 months after. It's still been 4 months since Cory uploaded. I am making this video because I wanted to tackle the idea that maybe I was a little wrong in my original video. In my original video, I posed the claim that you were wrong. And when I mean you, I mean any Cory fan who actively, hates or puts down Cory for his breaks and that kind of thing. I put the idea forth that Cory needed that time, that, he was a human, he was a regular dude, and he didn't have an obligation to be constantly uploading videos or being an online presence. But as time has gone on, the more I've thought about this and the more I've looked into what happens when Cory disappears, I've gotten the notion that Cory is also in the wrong. Now, let me make this clear immediately. I am a Cory fan. You might even call me a Cory lover. I have been a fan of him for almost half a decade now. I know I'm technically not an OG fan, but I have been interacting and watching his videos for a long, long time. Hell, there was a period in my life where I would genuinely find no joy in my days unless he uploaded. And that is a bit embarrassing to admit, but that's just the case. And while I've grown out of that, I still find a lot of meaning in his uploads. Anytime he uploads, as rare as it might be, it genuinely just instantly makes my day. So it is kind of hard for me to, I guess, admit the fact that he kind of is treating his fans poorly. Now, do his fans deserve this? Some of them do, let's be honest. Though again, this is kind of a situation like what I mentioned in one of my recent TikToks about Joe Bart. And not just Joe Bart, just any influencer that gets big enough, that when you get to a certain point, when you get a certain audience to a certain level, your audience already does not act as a single file like community you can blanket one term over. Like, you can't just say, oh, Cory fans, because there's too many of them. There's way too many types. There's like subsections. The same way you can't say, oh, PewDiePie fans, or you can't say, oh, Ludwig fans, or I mean, in some cases you can, like for example, Asmongold. That is a big community, but every Asmongold fan is more or less the same. Anyways, that's driving off of the topic. The main point I'm trying to make is the type of Cory fan who actively hates on him, who actively seeks out any form of contact, and is overall just parasocial. That is just the best word to use in this case. Parasocial. They are wrong. They are inherently wrong. I think that is not a surprise. Everybody is aware of that. But I also want to lend credence to some of the ideas that more sane Cory fans have. The idea that Cory himself could be doing more, because that is true. Now, is that to say that he's doing nothing? No, absolutely not. Anybody who says he's lazy or he's just sitting in his house with his millions doing nothing, I sincerely do not believe that. I think when he goes on these like videos talking about his breaks and he says, oh, my plate's been really full, I've been dealing with a lot of stuff and doing a lot of stuff you guys don't even know about, I 100% believe them. Because you can see it in his eyes. Not just his eyes, you can see it in his body. Not to body shame or anything, but you can tell he's been getting a little bit chunkier, especially compared to what he was before. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just pointing it out as a detail. You can just look at that. Now, do I know him personally? Fuck no, of course not. Do I know anything about his life? Of course not. I am just making inferences about what I've seen. And from what I've seen, I can tell he has been working hard on probably a lot of projects. Hell, maybe even a movie. Who knows? But the point is, he has a lot on his plate, and there is a reason why he doesn't devote as much time to YouTube anymore. But I still think there is something wrong with the way he's been handling, because like I said, his community is too big. There are too many bad actors in it. And while he might try to take a hands-off approach and say, oh, well, I'm not doing anything, there's nothing really wrong with that, there is something wrong with that. Over the past few years, we've seen this kind of thing that happens anytime he takes a break, where anybody that is even remotely close or part of Coryxkenshin's I don't know why I said his name like that, but Coryxkenshin's circle like that instantly will get bombarded in their comment sections, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on YouTube, wherever it is, asking about Cory. It happened to his brother. It happens to Dashi sometimes. Granted, people like Dashi, you know, they also have like huge communities, so it's not as noticeable as somebody like, you know, that loser Mav Attack, or, you know, again, Coryxkenshin's brother. But it does happen, and that is kind of sad to see. You know, you have your own brand, you have your own thing you want to do, but you are constantly just getting bombarded by another man's fans who don't even care about you. They just want you to say something you probably don't even know. Like, you probably don't even, like, for example, Cory's brother, he probably doesn't even live with him. He doesn't talk to him every day, or at least I mean, who knows? Again, who knows? Nobody knows. That's kind of the point. People are enforcing this, and it's not just them. There's also, like, you know, Cory's mom, her page on Instagram, I think at some point, got the same treatment where when he leaves, she gets bombarded. People who could be, I don't know, potential customers to her brand or whatever are being replaced, or maybe even turned away by these relentless stans who can't stop asking about Cory, to the point where she needs to come out and say, oh yeah, he's doing fine, he's doing good, he's just not uploading anything. Well, again, that's realistically not Cory's fault. I think anybody trying to paint that as Cory's fault is a bit stupid. There's no better way to put it. But I do think there is some things he could be doing, because inaction does not mean innocence. You know, he knows what's gonna happen. This has been happening. So I feel like when it comes to situations like this, where, you know, he has said before, I don't want to pursue YouTube as hard anymore. He has stated that clearly in one of his latest, like, I guess, explanation videos. He said, from now on, I'll just be uploading when I can. You know, I'll be focusing on other things. And that's fine. That's perfectly okay. That's all good. That's clear. That's a good message. Unfortunately, going back to the point, your community is too big. Your community is full of children, and not just children, there are also idiots. Idiots who don't care about that. Idiots who are parasocial in nature, who think they know you, who will try to seek you out in any possible way. And when you have a community that big, there comes a responsibility with it, you know. There is a reason why you have a community that big. With great power comes great responsibility. I guess in this case you could say with millions comes responsibility. Millions as in fans, but I guess you could also interpret it as money. You know, you might have an easy life. You might have set, well, technically maybe not. I don't know if his family benefits from the money he makes, but you have set yourself up for life. You don't have to work ever again. And granted, I'm not going to play the card that, oh my god, YouTube is the easiest thing ever, because it isn't. Is it easier than a 9 to 5? Is it easier than fast food? Absolutely. And anybody who claims otherwise is an idiot. But it isn't as easy as some people try to make it out to be. It does take time. And especially when you're somebody like Cory, who still edits videos for himself, there is a lot of effort that goes into that, and I 100% see that. I think the people who don't either are uneducated or are ignorant. But when it comes to this case, there is a responsibility that comes with having a community so damn big. And that responsibility is to address it. Is to do what you can to not let the bad actors that call themselves your fans act in this way and make a bad light of your community. You have to take action to not make people in your circle suffer. Because while it might sound a bit dramatic, that is technically what is happening and what has been happening. And it's not like Cory isn't capable of this. Again, I'm not telling him he should be uploading more videos or anything like that, because I know it takes time. Believe me, I know. I've been doing this shit for like 4 months now. I know it takes time, especially when you want to make content that you are proud of. But I am saying he should be communicating it. And the craziest part is, he knows that. He's been saying that. He addressed this, and yet nothing has changed. There are still no, I don't know, tweets, which I think is the least of the problems, but there's no communication. There's no messages from him. And you might be asking, oh, well, he's never done. No, yes, he has. Look at these. Look at these. Sorry, but no spooky, scary Sunday tonight, guys. Got some personal stuff going on. Tomorrow, I got y'all 2 p.m. EST sharp. 5 years ago. He has communicated before. Again, look at this one. Took some days off because my family is at my house, have been since the 2nd for the holidays, so videos back soon, and then ultimate custom night and stuff like that. Or this one. I recorded the try not to laugh but was so sleepy I couldn't edit it last night. Now I'm in Chicago with my pops for Father's Day, so no way I can edit for today. Might have to double upload tomorrow. Again, am I saying he needs to put in this kind of effort and like actually double upload? No, absolutely not. You know, he has stated how he feels about this, but he can communicate. Okay, making a YouTube post doesn't take more than 2 minutes, ever. Like, again, it's so crazy because he himself has said this. So why hasn't he done it? It's been 4 months. Cory, I know you're busy. I know you're busy, bro. It's okay. But whenever you take shits, okay, I know you do. We all do. You take shits. Whenever you're taking a shit, just type a post. Just say, hey man, not feeling well. Probably will be gone for a few weeks. That's it. That's it. That's really all it takes. So yes, I do think Cory should absolutely be criticized and continue to be criticized for this, because there's nothing good that comes from this. If it was only him being affected, that would be fine, you know, because that's his decision. But there are other people being affected, other people's careers being affected by this. And I think him not taking action, not doing anything about it, is extremely selfish to a degree. Now, he has said again, he can't be selfish. Just because he can't be something doesn't mean it's okay. And I myself don't feel like that is a good thing for him to do. Now, as to why, I don't know. You don't know. We don't know because we don't know him. And some of you gotta stop pretending like you do know him. The fact of the matter is, he could be dealing with depression. He could be dealing with a billion different things. He could be in a relationship. She could be actually pregnant. He could be married. Who the fuck knows? The point of the matter is, he is a human. And some of you need to tone it down. Some of you need to stop acting like he actually owes you anything, because he realistically doesn't. Now, does he deserve to get hated on this hard? No, he absolutely does not. But he should be taking action to minimize the damage some of his community deals to people around him. And I think it is incredibly irresponsible that he hasn't.